All right. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Gold Rush here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Ribbon coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my tag team partner, Jabari Sinclair. Bari, this is a little different today. As you can see here, we are pre-recorded. We're doing this at right around 11 o'clock in the morning in the
Yeah, no, I'm about to
Midwest.
say,
So,
I just got out of the bed about an hour ago, so
yeah, I looked out. This. We both happen to have today off, so we were able to get this done.
right.
But I was up till about midnight getting all my graphics and doing my research and everything just for the little things because we're
Exactly.
doing one of I know one of my favorites, Bari, and I think it's one of yours also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, today we're covering the IWGP Heavyweight Championship version 4, the one sitting right here next to me. You can't see it behind my microphone, but but we we've said it before about the big gold belt being the perfect belt. Bari, if that isn't, this one is damn close to it.
It's running a close second. That's the Japanese version of the perfect belt.
Prize that should be strove for if you look at it. And a couple little facts on there. It
I was
debuted on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh,
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say. The belt debuted on March 7th, 2008. Uh, it was after Nakamura had given the third version of the belt to. Let me find my fact here. 2008. Oh, it doesn't say, but Nakamura had won the belt the title, I should say, in January at Wrestle Kingdom. And, well, actually, technically, it wasn't even Wrestle Kingdom. It was just the January 4th Tokyo Dome show that became
Right.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
But
Didn't he beat
he
Kurt
won.
Angle?
He beat Kurt Angle to unify the two different versions. Inoki had his own version of the IWGP title in the IGF in
Okay.
'07 after Lesnar had left in New Japan.
Right.
So Angle had won that one. That's the one that he had when he was going to TNA with it, when he was holding all the titles in that run he had.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then Nakamura beat him for that and unified it with the New Japan version of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And the third belt he gave to, I forget, I think it was Hashimoto's family. I'm not 100% sure on that. Uh, I should have made a note of that. But then Dave Milliken created the new version of the belt, the one that we saw from '08 to 2021. And just to look at the design here, the main plate, number one, look at that. I mean, there's a lot of things that I didn't notice the first time I looked at this belt back in the day. Like, you got the New Japan lion mark up at the top here
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
center. You got the lions on either side, which is kind of the lion is kind of like the staple of New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's like their symbol. Uh, got all the diamonds and the rubies and all that. The rubies is
Hmm.
what makes it stick out to me, like in that level with the big gold, all those diamonds on the
Exactly.
sides.
Exactly. And then that faceplate just pops out at you. Like it's
It
just
it does. There's
there's
something.
so much going there's so much going on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The way the silver and the gold kind of offset each other, I thought was really cool. I've got the cheap version where it's not all ornate like that, but this one it just looks so good. And then I think my favorite thing about this belt bar is the side plates because if you look at
Yeah.
it and it's kind of
I
blurry,
all
putting all the
former champ.
champions on it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I dig that.
yeah. Reminds me of the Stanley Cup kind of where it puts all the winners on it. Uh,
Hmm.
WWF did that briefly in the '80s, also, like with the big green belt. They had all the past champions on there, but
Yeah, and one of the versions of the Hogan's that they had all the
the
past champions
the,
too.
the Hogan '84 had that also, the black and silver one,
Right.
which I think is probably my favorite of the Hogan belts
Hmm.
because it was the same design as like all those like TV title, national championship, all those.
Yep.
But yeah, so you can see it's got the entire lineage of the belts here, and I I don't think they didn't continue that with the new belt. So that design that went away with the version 4 here.
Didn't have any room to do that.
No, I mean there's only been what 4 or 5 champions with version 5.
Yeah.
But like I said, this was the 4th version of the belt. It followed the 3, obviously. Here's the original IWGP Championship. There. This one might be, aside from the one we're talking about, might be the most recognizable one here. The second version. This is the Vader belt, as I call it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the third. This is the IGF version that Angle and Lesnar and all those guys had. I didn't care for it. They did have the names on there. They had the nameplates on the side plate, which I liked.
But it so I liked it
a little. But I'm glad they took that concept and brought it to the 4th version.
Exactly.
And it really upgraded it. So yeah, I mean, look at that thing. Let's see. First champion to hold it, Shinsuke Nakamura. Last one, Kota Ibushi, who deactivated that belt and the Intercontinental title in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Most reigns, Hiroshi Tanahashi held this title belt 6 times out of his 8 total title reigns. Longest reign, Kazuchika Okada, 720 days. Shortest reign, also Tanahashi, 38 days. His latest run when he dropped it to Jay White after Wrestle Kingdom in 2020, I believe it was.
Yeah, 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, I think it was 2020, or was it 2019?
I think it might have been 2020.
No, it was 19 because Jay White held it till the Garden Show and dropped it WrestleMania weekend. So it was 2019. It's early. Our brains are pudding, so let's. But we don't do retakes, Bari. We're doing this live to tape as they did back in the day.
Live to tape, pal.
Yes. Most combined days overall as Okada over his 5 reigns, 1,790 days, which is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I was going through, and I was literally going through with my calculator, adding up the days, like off of Wikipedia with the title reigns, and I thought Tanahashi had a lot, he had like 1,038, I want to say. And Okada comes in, oh no, I got 1,700, so.
Oh, right, I raised you a few hundred more.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the names that held this title here, Bari, because it's kind of a who's who of Japanese wrestling.
Yeah, Japanese wrestlers, and I'm surprised that I recognize damn near the entire list.
Yeah, well, I think that helps that it was this belt. If we were talking about version 2, then there might have been a few more that we didn't recognize so much. Like you would have got your Vaders, your Nortons, Chono, Muda. We could do an episode on version 2 also, but now with version 4, especially with New Japan getting on Access TV and getting the New Japan World Streaming Service, I think a lot of people were more familiar with a lot of these names on here, outside of the obvious ones. But like was it first one? There we see Nakamura with the belt there. It's a different looking Shinsuke than we're used to. With that,
yeah,
he doesn't have the long hair and almost.
He ain't quite as big either.
No. But yeah, he held it. He only held this belt twice. He held it once, and then I think he beat Tanahashi for it later on. But let me get my list here. On, like we said, he won the IWGP Championship on January 4th, 2008. He beat Angle on February 17th of 2008 to unify the 2 versions of the title. Then on March 7th, they debuted the new one. He would drop the belt to one of your favorites, Bari. There he is, Keiji Muto.
Keiji Muto, that's right.
Yes. This was his, I believe, last run with the IWGP Championship. I know he held it a bunch of times in the 90s into the 2000s, but then Muto holds the title for several months until January 4th, 2009. And then he dropped it to Tanahashi, who, and then we're going to get to our top five and all that, but I think, aside from possibly Okada, Tanahashi's the guy that I think about first when I think about this championship.
Yeah. I mean, not only did he hold it 6 times, but he's a very recognizable name of New Japan.
Yes. And there's a detail about Tanahashi that I always liked, Bari, and I never knew about until Mauro Ranallo said it on one of the Access TV shows. Tana's jacket, he had a cutout in it so that you could always see if he had a belt, you could see it around his waist without having to have the jacket open, which I thought was a really cool detail.
That is. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's the little things that stick out to you. Let's see, Tanahashi held the title until May 6th of 2009, and then he dropped it to Manabu Nakanishi. And you got to help me out with this, Bari. I think Nakanishi was Kurosawa, wasn't he, in WCW?
I can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't know.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bari, can you hear me, sir? Yep, yes. I hear you.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
Hey, what would a show be without some technical difficulties?
Exactly.
And we leave them in because we don't want to hide anything. But no. Did you hear me asking about Nakanishi there, Bari?
I did not hear anything at all.
Okay, so we're talking about this. Nakanishi's the one that beat Tanahashi, and I'm trying to remember. Was Nakanishi Kurosawa in WCW?
Go back to that picture. It's possible. It's possible.
Hang on, I'm looking it up because this is going to bug me because I remember Kurosawa because he was kind of intimidating when I was watching WCW back in the day.
Yeah. Hey, he broke Hart's arm.
Yeah. He was Kurosawa.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, yeah, that's Kurosawa jacked up. He was already a big fella, but shit, he's a brick house now.
Oh, yeah. He was on the food.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be a strong guy to hold both those trophies up in the air like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering how much those things weighed.
Probably at least 15 pounds, 20 pounds.
At least. That's a workout, just elevating those things.
Yeah.
All right, so Nakanishi holds it for about 6 weeks, drops it back to Tanahashi in Osaka at the Dominion show. And then on August 17th, the belt was vacated, Tanahashi fracturing his eye socket in the ring, which you don't want to mess around with. And then Nakamura won the vacant title by beating Togi Makabe in a tournament. Well, not a tournament, just to win the vacant title at New Japan Generation Tour on September 27th of 2009. And he would have it for about 218 days, it looks like, and then he would drop it to Makabe.
Yeah.
That guy, one of my favorites. The Unchained Gorilla.
Yeah. Haven't seen much of him, but he looks like a badass.
Yeah, he's one of those super stiff, strong style guys like an Ishii or Shibata, one of those, like they just knock the hell out of each other. He was the one that teamed up with Hanma all those years. And so he had this in later years. He's mainly been doing never open weight stuff, the 6-man tags or the never open weight tag championship. I almost said open weight heavyweight. That shows how my brain's working today. It's like jackass. That doesn't work. But so Makabe, I'm powering through here. Makabe holds it from May 3rd to October 11th, and then he would drop it to one of my favorites, Bari, to Satoshi Kojima. But, last I checked, still the MLW heavyweight champion.
He'll have it for as long as he wants it.
Yes. But I think Kojima, if my research is right, just from what I've known of the G1, I think he's either the last person or the only person to have won 2 in a row. 2 G1 Climax tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
But so he beats Makabe for the championship in 2010. He would hold it until Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. He would drop it back to Tanahashi. And that was on January 4th, 2011. He would hold it for over a year. He held it for 404 days at this point. And then on February 12th of 2012 at the New Beginning, that's when we see the first time that Okada wins it. He beats Tanahashi.
The Okodi.
Okay. Well, yeah. Listen to Cornette. This is not long after his really disappointing run in TNA as Joe's young boy.
Yeah.
And they brought him back and just strapped a rocket to him.
They definitely dropped the ball with that TNA angle.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest Okada fan overall. But yeah, and watching TNA back then, I didn't know who Okada is. I just think he's just this Japanese dude. Like when same thing, they did the same thing with Sonata. They put the X Division belt on him, but he was James Storm's young boy for most of his run.
Exactly.
So Okada really got the rocket strapped to him here. But he only held the belt for about 125 days. He dropped it back to Tanahashi on June 16th of 2012, and then he won it back. Let me see. Oh yeah, Tanahashi holds it for another 295 days. April 7th, 2013, an Invasion attack. Okada won it back, and then he held it for over a year until May 3rd, 2014. And then this is when I really was able to start watching a lot of New Japan. It was around this time, because this is when he drops the belt to AJ Styles.
AJ, yeah.
I just remember reading on, I don't even remember what the website was that I would go to for my information, but reading results to things, and one of the headlines was AJ Styles debuts in New Japan, because this was right when he was between Impact and WWE.
Yeah.
So then I wound up finding on YouTube where he debuted, street clothes. Then he lays out Okada, takes off the jacket, reveals the Bullet Club shirt. And then a month after that, he won the title. And that's when Yujiro Takahashi joined Bullet Club,
Mm-hmm.
the Tokyo Pimp. But he defected from Chaos to join Bullet Club, and he was the first Japanese wrestler to join Bullet Club. It was all foreigners at that point.
Uh-huh.
So that was a big deal.
Yep. And this is also AJ Styles growing up right here, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love New Japan. AJ is my favorite AJ.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of confusion because everybody says that because AJ debuted on the night that Finn Balor finished up Prince Devitt in New Japan. So he was gone from Bullet Club. Then AJ debuted. Everybody assumed AJ was the leader of the Bullet Club. Actually, technically he wasn't, because Carl Anderson was the leader of Bullet Club, because he was the one that founded it with Balor.
With Balor, exactly.
And I'm just saying Balor for familiarity. People watching this may not know Prince Devitt that well. But yeah, Anderson was the leader until they left, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
AJ was considered the leader of the Ring of Honor Bullet Club with the Bucks, and the Bucks, I guess. They were the only three that actually regularly appeared in Ring of Honor until Adam Cole joined. But yeah, so AJ holds the title until October, drops the belt to Hiroshi Tanahashi at King of Pro Wrestling. Then on February of 11th, 2015, AJ won it back at New Beginning in Osaka. And then he dropped it to Okada in July at in Osaka Joe. And then after that, then AJ just kind of finished up with the company in January of 16. So he was gone. Okada was the champion for 280 days. And then we have another new face. He drops the belt to Tetsuya Naito. Naito. And honestly, I like Naito's style. I did not care for him as the champion, because he was always doing the shit where he was throwing the belt around and busting it up and all that. That ticked me off. I did not care for that at all. So
that's a little tacky in my book too.
Yeah, and he did that with that belt, and he also did when he was Intercontinental Champion. And I think it was we use that as an excuse to make a new belt for the Intercontinental title because he just destroyed that one. It was like it was like a dysfunctional relationship with the belt.
Yeah. It's fine 1 minute, the next minute you got side plates hanging off. It's chipped. What are you doing here, man?
Yeah. So I was actually happy that Okada won the belt back in June of 2016. And then that's when Okada has the big run. This is the 720-day reign from June 19th, 2016 to June 9th, 2018. So damn near 2 full years.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of really strong matches through here. Of course, Tanahashi, rematches with Naito. And then this is when he drops the belt to Omega.
Oh, look at him, Omega. I am the Omega.
Mm-hmm. And so this was at Dominion, June 9, 2018. A 2 out of 3 falls match, which was unusual for New Japan. It was a no time limit 2 out of 3 because the first match they had was at Wrestle Kingdom. Okada beat Omega, and the second match was a draw. It went the time limit. And I think that was a Genesis earlier in the year. So this is the one where Omega finally got the belt.
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, you think he held it longer than he did because of the build-up and the fact that he was maybe the most well-known champion in as far as America goes. But I should say North America. He is Canadian. But January 4th of 19, Omega dropped the belt back to Tanahashi, and that was Omega's last real big big match in New Japan for a long time until he came back and beat Ospreay. So Omega is gone. He's off to AEW. Tanahashi wins the belt in January. Then 38 days later, which is, you don't imagine in a lot of ways Tanahashi holding the belt for that short of a time, but in a way you do. He's kind of that Cena position in New Japan where he doesn't have to hold the belt for a long time. He can put young guys over. And he did here, and I'm sorry, Bari, I got to put the picture up. Jay White, your fave.
Fucking taters and mustard.
And this was young Jay, too. This was his. This is after Gato had turned on Okada. Him and Jay White joined Bullet Club. And then White got the belt. He didn't hold it very long. He only held for a couple months because he dropped the belt to Okada at the G1 Supercard in New York at the Garden on WrestleMania weekend. Then Okada would drop the belt after a 274-day run. So at Wrestle Kingdom 2020, he dropped the belt to Naito. It was a title for title match. Naito's Intercontinental title was on the line also. And Naito walked out with both. And then we get another new guy. We get not a lot of new faces in some of these title changes, Bari, because it's a lot of the veterans. But
the vets, yeah.
But then we have this guy, Evil. I don't know how familiar you are with Evil, if you will.
Yeah. Who Evil is?
He was Naito's partner in Los Ingobernables for a long time, and then he turned on Naito after he won the New Japan Cup and got his title shot. Joined the Bullet Club. And then won both titles. He won the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship there. And then he would drop it back to Naito, ironically, on my birthday, apparently, according to this, August 29th, 2020. Naito won both belts back from Evil. I didn't care for one guy holding both belts and not defending them separately. I think they should have been defended separately. But
right, yeah. I feel the same way about that.
Yeah. Then finally at Wrestle Kingdom, Kota Ibushi beat Naito to win both belts, and then he wound up retiring both in favor of the new version of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, this one right here, which I'll admit, it took some growing on me. At first, I didn't care for it, but it's grown on me over the last few years.
That one kid that goes to all the 0-1 shows, he has it. So I mean, I've got a good up close look at it. So I mean, I don't hate it, but it's
still not as good. It's a step down.
Yeah.
I would have just retired the strap for the IC belt and just kept carrying the V4 as the heavyweight championship if it was me.
Exactly.
But no, that one thing about that kid is 0-1. He's getting people to sign the belt that never held it.
Yeah. What do you? Yeah.
Come on.
You just devalued it, but whatever.
I mean, it's not the highest quality replica. It's still a pretty darn good replica.
This is a replica.
Yeah. I mean, this one's not great either, to be honest with you. I mean, it's heavier, I think, than his is, but
oh yeah.
I mean, it's a 2mm. I'm not proud of it. I like my 4mm more, but
right.
But yeah, but still, I have a rule, and I think a lot of people do. If you're going to get a belt signed, it's got to be by the people that held it.
Exactly.
Bischoff pulled a fast one on me once. I had one of the kids' IC belts I got for Dirt Cheap to take to WrestleFest, I think it was, up in Romeoville, and we had the Outsiders and Steamboat and Dudley's. All these guys were there signing autographs, and I took the IC belt over to Hall and Nash, who were sitting with Bischoff. So Hall and Nash signed it, and then Bischoff just reached over and signed it. I was like, I mean, that's great. I'm glad to get a Bischoff autograph, but come on, I was going to have him sign my book.
Exactly. I have something else for you to sign. Don't touch that.
Yeah. It's like, no. Damn you, Bischoff. You've done it again. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, yeah, like I said, only 13 guys held the belt, some of them more than others. But, as far as notable feuds go, I've got some, and a lot of them have the same names in them, just because I'm just going by like when I was watching New Japan. I started watching New Japan in about 2016. So, and then that's when I got the New Japan World, and I would go back and watch more of it. But notable feuds I've got here, and I've got my graphic. There we go. First one on my list is Omega and Okada, just for the trilogy.
Yeah.
Because each match improved on the previous one and added new things. Like, match 1, Okada gets a clean win. Match 2, it's the time limit, but they also had the thing. I don't know if you watched this match, but Cody Rhodes was also in Bullet Club, and he was out trying to throw the towel in for Omega. And all the other Bullet Club guys came out and ran him off. So that's when they were starting that kind of Cody versus Kenny power struggle for Bullet Club. And then in the third match, that's the one where Omega won the 2 out of 3 falls. And Don Callis was just icing on the cake.
That's the match I seen right there.
Yeah, so you heard Callis at the end losing his shit.
Losing his shit. I thought he was going to pop the top of his damn head off.
Hey, you know what? That was a Jim Ross caliber call at the end. You could imagine Jim Ross reacting that way when Austin won.
Yo, God.
Stone Cold. Okay, maybe the greatest long-term rivalry. It's not even a feud. It's more of a rivalry. Okada and Tanahashi is an obvious one, just for all the times that they swapped it back and forth. I put AJ and Okada on there. This is the feud that elevated AJ in New Japan for the belt. Jay White and Tanahashi, same deal with Jay White. This is the feud that really pushed Jay White up into the main event, was his run with Tana. And then I put Omega versus Cody Rhodes on here, just for the power struggle with with Bullet Club.
Very good, very good.
Am I missing any?
You're not, and I only had 2 feuds because that's the only 2 things that I could really find on, searching around for matches and stuff like that. I've got Omega, Okada, and then I've got Omega and Cody.
Okay, I kind of dropped the ball. I meant to give you my password for my New Japan World so you can do some digging.
It's all good, but you can go back and give it to me because I would like to go see some stuff.
Oh sure, yeah, I'll get that to you.
Okay.
All right. As far as favorite matches go, same deal. A lot of them have some of the same names in it, but I've got Cody and Omega from the G1 special in San Francisco, 2018. Even though it had that really dumb ladder spot in the middle of it, but plus that also had the aftermath with the Tongans beating the hell out of the Elite afterwards. So really kind of really elevating God in that case. And Haku, by the way, was also involved in that beatdown. I forget who he put the Tongan death grip on, but he got somebody with it.
Yeah, and eventually he chased the Young Bucks out of Japan too. So
yeah, but he chased them right onto our televisions. Oh my goodness. Okay, I had to put the entire Omega Okada trilogy as one on here, just because it just the way it progressed. AJ versus Okada from Wrestling Dontaku in 2014 when AJ won the belt from Okada. I put on there just because I was an AJ fan, so I was really happy to see him win the belt. And then I got Naito and Okada from Invasion Attack 2016. That's the one when Naito beat Okada. And it's where Sonata debuted as a member of LIJ. And, yeah. So I think that's really gave people a reason to notice Naito as far as in ring.
Probably why relevant today.
Probably, yeah. Let's see. Top 5 champions hold the belt. Yeah, it's my core 5 here. I got in no particular order, but Tanahashi, Okada, AJ, Naito, and Omega are my top 5.
Okay, and my top 5 in no particular order are Tanahashi,
Jay White.
You're being funny today, aren't you, Mister?
I'm being funny.
Tanahashi, Kojima, Styles, Omega, and Ibushi. Yes, just because those are the things that I've seen.
Okay. Hey, I love me some Kojima. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But all right. So it seems like we plan on this being a quick one, Bari, and it did not disappoint. This is basically kind of like almost like a bonus. It's 32 minutes.
Yeah.
And but before we go, it is your turn to choose what we go with next.
Well, I think that we will review.
I had a hunch. The 88 to 98 tag title.
Yes. We will do 88 till 98, and it shall be a fun one. A meaty one, but a fun one.
It will be a meaty one, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the last one of the Golden Era Reggie Parks belts to review from WWF, because we already did the Winged Eagle and we did the Intercontinental.
Yep, we sure did.
So we're just kind of finishing up the trilogy there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't plan on taking this long to get to this episode, Bari, but in the summer on Fridays, it's kind of hard to schedule around different things that we're doing. So
exactly right. You guys are going to the Balloon Fest. I'm going to go to the Street Fest down here this evening. So it's hard to try to schedule things.
Mm-hmm. Plus all the wrestling shows on Fridays that we go to sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm glad we got this one done. I always like talking about this belt. Like I said, it's probably my top 2, along with the Big Gold, as far as my favorites. And yeah, I think we are in good shape. Let's go ahead and cut out of here, Bari. Until next time. Don't forget, this Tuesday on the Jumping the Rail podcast, we're scheduled to have Just Incredible joining us again, which will be a good time. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned for it.
Yes. If you didn't get a chance to watch our last Tuesday's episode, we did our 5th fantasy draft, international edition, kind of fitting to bring up talking about the IWGP title.
Exactly. That was a lot of fun, too.
It was a lot of fun. I went back and listened to that again because I had to, you know how I do my YouTube recap video with the, well, I had to go back and listen to it so I could keep track of who picked who. There were some feelings were hurt. Some opinions were voiced, all these, the usual. It wasn't quite on the level of Judy Gate, although Minders got pretty hot at me for taking the Bulldogs.
She did. I don't think anything will ever top Judy Gate. It was right. It was so random and so spontaneous, and I had a few drinks, and I was feeling quite sensitive.
And all the time I've known you, I didn't know you had such a soft spot in your heart for Judy Martin.
Well, yes, I do.
Oh my goodness. It never gets old. All right, well, Bari, let's get out of here. We got a long day ahead of us for different reasons. So thanks for watching this, guys. next episode, we're planning on being live again, so we won't be doing the pre-recorded stuff. So for Bari, this is Reb, reminding y'all life is hard, work stiff, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.